Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on a discussion that we'll be having with two very important sports person. We'll be talking with Mr. R. Rajan, former international basketball player, and also in the second part of this session, we'll be talking to with Mr. Irudaraj, who is a former Santosh Trophy player, and he's also been a coach of the football academy for more than 2 decades. So, in the first part of the session, we will be discussing about psychological skills training, which we have learned in the theoretical aspects in our first session on psychological skills. And also, we will be asking Sir some questions about goal setting. So, uh, our sports history goes back to hundreds of years. Our sports persons have and athletes have competed in many international events, namely Olympics, Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, and many international tournaments, and they have done exceedingly well. Performance has been good, and they have also been, earned a lot of medals. But during the early years, the sports participation, especially up to the mid 90s, 1990s, sports was seen mainly to be more of a physical activity. The importance and awareness about the psychological components that are important in sports lacked awareness. Yet, our sports person, be it in the individual disciplines or the team disciplines, did very, very well to overcome many obstacles and competition pressure and stress. To understand and gain insight into how our sportsmen and athlete handle themselves and manage their emotions without any kind of formal training, we have Shri Rajan among us. Thank you, sir, for all your time. And
Thank you, ma'am.
sir is a very illustrious sports person. He's the former captain of the Indian basketball team. He's the selector for the Indian basketball men and women in the both in the junior and the senior category. He's an internationally certified sports mentor, and he's also a member of the Kalo India talent identification for the basketball committee. His sports career, spanning more than 3 decades, represented the Indian team continuously for more than 15 years, captaining that on many occasions. He has represented Karnataka state from 1979 to 2000 and also captained the state on many occasions and led the team to victory. He's had the unique distinction of being the flag bearer for the national games for the Karnataka contingent. Along with this, he has received many awards from the government of Karnataka, namely the Karnataka Rajyotsav Award, the Ekalavya Award, and also the Karnataka Olympic Association Award. And we are very happy to have him. And we will be asking him many questions relating to what kind of mental training was done during those times when formal training was actually not much, in play. So, sir, welcome for
Thank you
this
very
program.
much.
Yeah. The first question to you is, can you provide us an understanding as to what was the awareness about mental training during those days? What were your sources? How did you, understand, or did you know anything about mental training?
During our playing days, right from the 80s to the late 90s, I think the mental training awareness in India was very, very less. In fact, since I had an opportunity when I was in the national camps right from 1982 during the Asian Games coaching camps and during my junior days at various science centers. They had started the sports science centers since the Asian Games was coming to India. 81, 82, they had given a lot of emphasis on sports science. Otherwise, those days it was more of basketball coaching and strength and conditioning, sports psychology, physiotherapy, video analysis. All this was not given so much of prominence in the camps and the sporting training programs. So it was more of your game techniques. But since I was had the privilege to be with many senior NIS coaches who are national coaches and camps held at various NIS or what you call the SAI sports centers, there were a lot of other coaches in other disciplines like a volleyball coach or a hockey coach, athletics coach. So when you had all of them around, you would interact with them. So they also were getting aware, and they were also trying to give us some inputs about mental training, how
Right.
to how mental training, visualization, and also we used to have a few tests done by sports science specialists from NIS, which is now SCI, and they would do the basic tests on the students, but nothing very concrete or very uh, 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 you can say, like, for example,
systematic in
yes,
terms.
to
Okay.
help an athlete to work
Prepare,
on his
yeah.
mental skills.
So, without any kind of formal or any kind of systematic training, how did you prepare for competitions, right? Because you have played a lot for the Indian team, you have traveled, you have played in Asian championships. So, how did you prepare for competitions?
So initially, the first few years, we were all working more on the basketball skill, and working a little bit to get yourself fit, because you knew that you need to be very fit and agile, because you had some SCI or government approved tests to see how physically fit you are, how's your endurance, how's your speed, how's your agility, which was scientific tests, so which was good for us. But mental skills was less. So what we would do is we used to talk to, especially my own experiences, I would talk to those coaches, sports science specialists, and also various foreign coaches who are there. And I would just ask them how it is. So they used to say that preparing mentally is very important. You have to think about a game. So we never thought those days these were all called as uh,
Goal
mental
setting,
training,
yeah.
or you can call it goal setting. It was more like preparing how your mind, to the game situation. So over the course of time, I would think that so today, visualization, how many attempts I would make, for example, a free throw, or out of 10 I should make 8 or 9. Though I do that in practice, when you come back after your session, and also during your free time, you think about it. How's your shooting action? How is your follow through? And you're getting those shots. Then how's the moves? For example, you want to collect box out and collect a rebound. So you keep thinking about it day in and day out. All the different skills of
But
the
you
game.
didn't know that it was visualization, or it was goal setting. You would just say, I'll think about it. The kind of
Yeah, the
concept
word
that is there.
was, you
Yeah.
think about it. Those
Think,
days it
yeah.
was not told as it's a mental training, but
Right.
then it was all like an individual effort. Like,
Right.
I made my own efforts till later part of the 90s, when there was more specialized sports psychologists come in to guide the players. Till then it was all like, you work on it, you think about it, you think of how you are going to cut and receive the ball. You keep on thinking in day in and day out, and they would say that practice and thinking go hand in hand, and it comes automatic in a game.
Right, right. So in a team sports like basketball, like did you and your team members work together towards setting goals, right? Because you played with a certain batch of players for a longer period of time. So did you work towards setting goals for yourself and for the team?
Actually, during the early 80s to mid 90s, we had a very good bunch, and the team did quite well in various Asian championships. We had outstanding Arjuna awardees, all round players from the juniors coming to the seniors, very good bunch of seniors, and good combination, very dedicated and hardworking, and the teams did well in various championship wherever we went. So the goals, what we always looked, we didn't know it was a goal setting. We always thought that this championship we should suppose we're going for an Asian basketball championship, we should be somewhere in the top 5 6. So we would go there with that aim, because we would work last time what was the position, how we can improve at least by 1 or 2 ranking,
So it
those
was
kind
very
of.
realistic, right? The goal
Yes,
you said was realistic.
realistic, which
Yeah,
we.
because you knew where you stood as a team together.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
because you were playing all the big wigs like China, Japan,
that's right.
so you knew that your level would be that. So it was very realistic in
Yeah,
nature.
and we always thought that we have to take every championship one step at a time and then go ahead. And also the advantage was we had coaches who were the senior coaches. They all had been with the team either for 4 years, 6 years,
Right.
8 years, so they know
Knew
from
the
one
players
championship
in and out.
and also the championships and the
Right.
other team
Right.
opponents, and you work towards that.
Right. Okay. So I would like to ask you, like, in terms of dunking in basketball, It's also called like a gazelle leap, right? Dunking is a very spectacular event in basketball, and all the tall people usually, do that as a part of their training. So you were one of the first players in India to introduce or start dunking. I think it's not a very easy thing to achieve. Can you throw light on how you set your goal? On the first question I'll ask you is, how did you learn about dunking, right?
See, in the 80s, we never had what you have today, the YouTube or what is available on the internet to go and see the
Right,
game. So those
right.
days, it was most like you get college basketball tapes, or you get the
Videotapes.
VHS
Yeah,
videotapes, the
videotapes. Yeah.
VHS, or you would get some NBA tapes. When people come down, we would ask them to get those games and then look at it and analyze. So most of them were watching those games. And when I started off in my 1982 with the junior Indian team, some of my batchmate friends felt that you had a good opportunity, good leap, good spring to see that you can learn dunking. So every day after the session, there was a group of friends who would, my teammates in the national camps, who would tell me, "Hey Rajan, come on, we'll put you some balls. Try to see that you can
Yeah.
first try to put the ball over the ring. Try to reach with your fingers.
Right.
It's starting off with those kind of training, because you
Simple,
don't
simple
simple
steps.
steps,
Yeah.
and then you start working on that. Then initially they tell you, without the ball, you run and jump and see how much of your hand or your fingers can go above the ring.
Right.
So you keep, because you're a young budding player at 18 years old, and you're learning a dunk, which you don't have today a scientific way of teaching. So this went on for about a year. Within a couple of months, by the time I was in the junior Indian team and we went to Manila in 82, I was able to get my wrist or the palm over the ring and then bring the ball into the uh, uh, ring, and which was called just the basic dunk.
Right.
And by the time I was in the 83 seniors, when I came back home, I developed my agility, my jump, my strength, and worked on all those things to develop the slam dunks.
Right.
So I started dunking in single hand. Then I worked on two hand dunking, reverse dunking, and for that you have to do an all round work. Now,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
it's a coordination, it's a quick leap, it's your
Reflex.
yes, and also your strength
Right.
and your power to improve. So for all that, you have to do your weight training. So the
I've heard
dunk,
that you have broken many boards in many championships by doing the dunks.
yeah,
Is
those
it
days,
true? Is it
yes,
true? Yeah.
there were a couple of national championships which got postponed for a day or two, like the Federation Cup and the interzonal, because of those days they did not have a dunking ring like what they have, which has got a spring action now.
Right. Right.
So if you uh, uh, get with the force and the swing, the board would break or crack. So you need to replace it. So as it grew, India started getting those spring
Right.
dunks, so
Right.
you could do it. And also at
So,
6 feet
so I
3,
would say that you didn't rest till you learned how to dunk, right?
yes, it took about a
Yeah.
2 years time
Yeah.
to get a good slam dunk, and then it became the most spectacular, because
Yeah.
for many many years people were trying to dunk in the layup before the game, but during game, over the player, during the game situation,
Right.
all that was very spectacular,
Yeah.
because at 6 feet 3, when you dunk, it becomes more and more spectacular than a 6'9" or a 6'10" who's doing
Right.
a dunk.
Right. 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 I know. Yeah. It's a coordinated effort. Yeah. I know. So we learned in theory that once you set a goal of wanting to achieve something, you don't rest till you are perfected it. So I think this is a perfect example of how you started dunking, learning the process, and then you didn't rest, and then you fine tuned it to learn other ways to do it, right, to match what they do now in
Yeah.
NBA and yeah, things like that. Okay. So my next question to you is, do you recall any tournament or any instance where you set a goal as a team, and you were able to achieve it as a team together?
Yeah, a couple of championships. We went to in Hong Kong for the ABC,
Right.
and the coach had set a goal saying that we have to do well and we have to improve our ranking. So we went to Hong Kong for the Asian Basketball Championship. We did very well. And then followed by the next at China also, when we went for the Asian Championship, the team had set goals that we have to be in the top six. And we did well. At Bangkok, we were the top six, and we could have come fifth, but then a few of us had to come back to India, leaving a match because we were part of the Indian contingent, which was playing the SAP games at Calcutta since we were the host.
Right.
So three of us were asked to fly down to be with the team for the finals against Pakistan, which we won by 30 points because SAP games was also an important part of it.
Right.
So coaches who were there for a longer time always had a goal because they knew what was the performance in the previous edition and how to improve it. They had a realistic goal.
Right.
They never said that you have to be a champion.
Right.
You have to be a medalist because they knew that what is the strength of India.
Yeah. Right. So I would like to ask you this question, that without any access to systematic mental training, the performance of teams have been so good. So if you had access to systematic mental training at that point of time, how would your performance improve, or how would you think it would have been better?
See, if you look back at any technology which is there today, which is helping the player, is a great advantage. For example, you have a mental training for your player. You have a video analyst who can analyze sports nutritionist for a good diet,
Right.
a sports physiotherapist who can
Right.
make you recover faster. So
Strength
these
and
were all
conditioning, yeah.
yes, strength and conditioning. So earlier it was only coaching
Right.
and a little bit on your strength and conditioning.
Right.
These two were the other aspects of the support stuff was not there. So if mental training was a part of the system, I think many of the Indian athletes would have done much better because you would have known how to do mental preparation,
Right.
how to do visualization. I can give you an example from those days. I always maybe started off till from 83 till 2000 till I retired. Before every game, I would spend some time like switch off from all thoughts and think about the game, think about my contribution to the team, and think about how I could, what are my strength and my weakness. So this is what is basically what I learned all by myself.
Right, I know. So that so much of dedication and so much of the zeal and motivation to improve is can be, I think, understood when you say that you were putting in your own efforts to be a better player, and both mentally as well as physically. So one of my last questions to you is, today in sports science era, where you have sports science team and specialists for every area or every gamut of sports performance, do you think a sports psychologist should be a part of every sports contingent, anything, whether it could be at the state level or it can be at the international? Do you think a sports psychologist should be a part of it?
Yeah, mental training is very important. If you just look at a few days back where Neeraj Chopra's coach has told that the mental strength and the mental training is very important to for an athlete to perform and sustain that performance.
Right.
And right from the under 13, 16, you get into a systematic coaching program. You have good coaches, you have strength and conditioning. So it's important to bring in a mental technique or a psychologist to the training program. And it's important to have a nutritionist because good nutritionist diet is also very important. So I'm sure that many of the teams, and not only the national teams, even the private teams have got sports psychologists with them as a part to help the players and the athletes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for all these, insightful information, and thank you for spending the time to have the discussion. And so in the next session, we'll be having Mr. Irudaraj, football coach, where we'll be learning from him about goal setting and how he works with his team in terms of, motivating them and encouraging them. Thank you so much, Mr. Raj.
Thank you.
So in the second session now, we have Mr. Irudaraj, former national level football player, and also a coach at the football academy. So, goal setting is a very important concept, as we have all learned in our theory portion. Any team that wants to win needs to have a goal about how they are going to do, how they are going to perform in a match. And when a player is with a coach for over a season or over a period of time, they need to emphasize how they need to work on the goals. So we can learn it from none other than Mr. Irudaraj. So, Mr. Irudaraj, thank you so much for being here and spending your time. Okay. So, sir holds a NIS diploma in coaching and an AFCA license coaching certificate given by the Asian Football Federation. He's attended the coaches clinic in sports science. He is retired from the Indian Army as a junior commissioned officer and is currently the head coach at a premier football academy where he's been working for more than 2 decades. A former player himself, he brings on to the table of having played for services at the prestigious Santosh Trophy. He's played the national games, the Federation Cup, and also the Durand Cup. He's also participated in the 4th World Military Games, toured Egypt and Myanmar as a part of the services team. He has also many decorations bestowed to him by the Indian Army, the commendation card by the Chief of Army, the meritorious service in Indian Army. So, sir will be here to share his experiences about how it is to be a coach and to work with a bunch of players and how he can encourage them and motivate them. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So, my first question is, could you please tell us a little bit about your football team and what level the football team is playing at?
Now, this season we are playing in a top elite division in Bangalore.
Okay.
We have a bunch of 25 players,
Okay.
and they all in between 18 to 23 age group. And I think this elite division, super division in Bangalore is one of the toughest league in India.
Okay.
We have 20 to 19 teams,
Okay.
and it's very competitive, ma'am.
Okay. So it's, I think, quite a challenge to be working
It's
with a
very,
bunch of
very
people.
challenging.
Okay. Yeah. So if a team needs to do well in a season, a systematic assessment of the team needs to be done because, you have to work on certain areas. So can you briefly explain what type of assessment you do before the start of the training camps? I learned that these people are with you for a year, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
there will be a systematic assessment, ma'am, before from the start of the selection of players
Right.
in every season, and we invite players for the trials
Okay.
to attend the trials
Right.
from all over India.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we have a set of drills and games to assess them.
Okay.
And once they start giving their trials,
Right.
we assess them in different areas,
Right.
which includes their fitness level,
Right.
their technical part,
Right.
their tactical ability,
Right.
and their decision making, and the most important thing is their football awareness.
Okay.
And once we finish all those things, we finalize with a set of our final list. And once the final list is done, they have to finish other formalities. They have
Right.
to complete other formalities like their document verifications
Right.
and their registrations with
Okay.
the All India Football Federation, and also their medical checkup.
Okay.
Once this is done, then before the start of the training, we conduct their fitness and skill test.
Right. So the selection part is different,
this
and
all,
then you
yeah,
do
yeah,
that
yeah.
once you
before
take
the
them on
start of the
board.
training sessions.
Right. Right. Okay.
It all comes in before the start of the
Okay.
training.
Okay.
And once we conduct this fitness test and skill test, we'll come to know what the player's level is,
Right.
and then they'll also come to know where we are standing.
Right.
And based on that, I design the training program accordingly, ma'am.
Okay. So, now that you are assessing the fitness levels and the, football skill levels, etc., to function as a team, right? Because it's a team sport. To function as a team, you need to do goal setting. You need to, set goals for them. So, how do you work on setting goals for your teams? Like goal setting is not always about winning, no? It's like, yeah, winning is the end result. Every team wants to win, but how do you set team goals?
Ma'am, before I set goals, I have a benchmark. I have made a benchmark for each and every activities on and off the pitch.
Right,
Each and every individual should know this.
right,
And uh, once I did this, I'll focus on the goal settings.
right.
We have I have two important goal settings, man. One is performance goal setting, and another one is specific goal setting.
Okay,
And first thing is, when it comes to goal setting, it's a one is short term and one is long term.
so I'll just interrupt you. What do you mean by performance goals, and what do you mean by specific goals?
Performance goals. Every session we see how the players are performing, how the players are improving the certain specific
Skills or skill or techniques,
technical
skills.
workout.
Okay,
Whether suppose the player is good in right foot,
right,
but he is not good in left foot.
right,
That is specific things.
right. So
When
he
it
has
comes
to like he has to be like
Yes,
both
yes,
dexterous
yes.
or both able to
Yeah.
use both the legs.
Yeah, football is a physical challenging, very physical
Yes.
physical challenging
Yes,
game.
yes.
And also he has to be very comfortable on the ball
Right.
and more confident on the ball.
Right.
If he's not comfortable on the ball, if he's not physically strong, if his decision making is not good, then we'll have a problem with the performance.
Right, right. I know.
Every session we see the player's performance,
Right.
not only on the pitch, off the pitch also.
Yeah. So like if you are like working on like the performance goals and also as the specific goals, you are also setting goals for the individual players. Like you said, if somebody is good in the right foot, he needs to improve his left foot kicks. So you set some goals for him, right? So how is it set? Like, do you discuss with the player, or you yourself like, as a coach directing the player? How is it done?
Yeah, first we have a group discussion, ma'am.
Okay.
And every individual should know that what is goal setting,
Right.
what is long term goal setting, what is short term goal setting. Few
Okay.
players are into short term goal settings. Few players are into short. That is coach's
Discretion.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He will take care of that.
Right.
But few players are short term goal setting. They'll have that mindset that yes, I have to play for top level clubs or national team. That is short term. Within short term, you'll be reaching to that level.
Right.
And when the players are graduating from this club to the higher level, it is great credit goes to the management also and the coach
Yeah.
also.
No, but in terms of specifically like goals for your training program, because these boys are there with you for 1 year,
Yeah.
and you are playing in an elite division, and you want the team to do well.
Yes.
It's not about winning
Yes,
like we
yes.
talked. So how do you set these goals for them? That if you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
So we have a group discussion. In that group discussion, we specify each and every point to the players. What is
Okay.
goal setting?
Okay.
First thing is the discipline, on and off the pitch discipline. But first come then their hard work,
Right.
on the pitch, okay, and how much they put their commitment on the pitch, and their communication with the teammates and the officials, and also their
In terms of their technical,
technical ability and the tactical moves,
Right.
and their psychological factors.
Right.
Everything we have to consider, and
Right.
they should know that what in which direction we are going.
Right.
And for me, goal setting is like I train the players in a positive and a winning mentality, man.
Right.
That is very important.
Right.
When
So
they-
like, are the players involved when you do this? Like, when you say that, you have to improve your left foot kick, and then you put them on some certain drills. Are they like, do you talk to them about it, or it's like just given by the coach?
each and every session is a communication, man.
Communication,
Each-
So you
and-
involve
yes,
both
ma'am.
the players and
each and every session is a form of communication.
right.
We interact before the session also and after the session also. We'll come to know what they face during the problems they face during the session.
Okay.
And we'll come back to the players after the session.
Okay.
So then the same drill will be continued next session also, so that the repetition will be more, so that we can see a lot of improvement from the individual.
Yeah. So I mean, I also like to ask you this question. players don't like to be told that they are not good in this, or they have to improve in this. Sometimes they don't take it very sportively. So
Yeah.
what is your experience been like? Are they in sync? Like, suppose you tell one of your football players that your left foot kick is not very good, you need to improve. Do they take it positively, or do they accept it? I mean, like,
Yeah, this is very this is a challenging part, ma'am, as a
right,
coach, because
yeah,
many players, because they have they all are different personalities,
right, right,
but we should know how to get into those personal things, and how to get their work extract from them,
right,
and how to motivate them, and how to encourage them to do the things. Okay,
right.
if you encourage them in such a way, definitely they will do it, and they will come up with a good
Right,
result.
I know. Because when you work with younger children, right? I mean, when these things are told to them, the acceptance is different. But here, these are already 18 years. So, like, getting across, and they already have developed certain amount of skill set.
Yes.
Here, you want to fine tune that, right?
Because see, they have developed their, because here in my in our platform is like a little bit of advanced, man, because we
Right,
are playing elite division in
right,
Bangalore.
right,
That's a very toughest competition,
right,
and every player needs to be more technically sound, and physically strong, and mentally strong.
right,
Okay, when these things are there, then we can compete with the top players, because in Bangalore, the many all the 19-20 clubs, they have a top players in their respective clubs.
right,
For that, we need all these aspects to be follow, man.
right, right. So, like, when we are talking about, setting goals, it's theoretically a coach is the one who takes, the all the does all the groundwork of setting goals, etc. But it's not easy, right? It's quite challenging.
Yes.
Because many times you don't meet the goals. Many times, like, you can't always win. There are times when you lose, when your team doesn't do well. So suppose your team does well, uh, what kind of goals do you set? I mean, the two-part question is that when your
Yeah.
team does well, what kind
Yeah.
of goals you set for further improvement?
Yeah.
Uh,
First thing is like we set a we have a clear goal settings map
right,
that is followed by each and every individual.
right,
Second thing is like after setting goals, we have the measured.
right,
Okay, so that we take the data and track their performance,
right,
and track their improvement.
right,
Okay, how they are improving, how they are reacting to our response to our training,
right.
and based on that, we design the training programs
For the next set.
Yeah,
So
next
do
one.
you get statistics in the leagues that you play? Or do you get statistics of the players' performance? Is it available, or you
Yeah,
record it? Or
yeah, we have a video analyst,
okay,
so that every, even in a practice session also, we because lot of problems we face during the sessions,
right.
same things we can see in the
Matches,
competition
yeah,
also,
yeah.
because we have to sort out all those things. We take a video clippings what in the during the training,
Right.
and based on that, they come immediately after the training, they come back, and we watch them.
Okay.
We'll make them to sit and watch their mistakes, so that they get everything into their mind.
Yeah.
Next session, we can again, they'll do mistakes, but you can see them minimize the doing their mistakes. Okay,
Yeah.
they can see the mistakes will be minimizing every session,
Right.
because they understand what mistakes,
Mistakes
they're
they've done.
committing.
But unfortunately, all this was this available when you played?
No,
Not-
because
not
now
available.
everything is systematic,
yeah.
very scientific.
I know.
And also I deal with the players, all different personalities, come from different background,
Yeah.
different
Diverse-
culture,
diverse
different
culture,
different culture, different language,
Yes.
and different because it's very difficult
Yeah,
to
very diverse. We can put it like it's a
mold
very
them.
diverse and very
Yeah.
different.
Different.
Yeah. So it's
And many players, they don't understand English, they don't
Yeah.
speak English. I mean,
That's
only
true.
they speak their own mother tongue.
Yeah.
That is very difficult.
Yeah,
ma'am.
difficult to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So, like, in this, in a very joking way, because the statistics are there, even the players know that if they're at fault, they have to accept it, right? It's like earlier days, if you say that I scored some 3 goals, or I scored some things, you had to believe, because there was nothing to count, right? So, it's a difficult situation. Okay. So, you're a NIS qualified coach, right? And did you have any kind of orientation during your course into psychology, sports psychology? I think there is a paper on sports psychology. Did you learn? Did you have any formal exposure to sports psychology?
Because in NIS we have a sports psychology. Even in A license also we
Okay.
have a sports psychologist comes and take classes. At least 3 or 4 sessions we have this.
Okay.
And because now a sports psychologist it plays a major role in sportsmen, especially in football. In football, when we play a match, when we practice, only we can see negativity in players' mentality. Because
When you say negativity, can you just like explain, like, do they feel that they're not going to improve?
Yeah.
Or what
No,
is it? Or they're not confident?
not only in Indian
Yeah,
level,
everywhere,
in
okay.
it's all entire the world.
Right.
Football players facing the same thing, or
Right.
coaches and other
Yeah.
supposed are facing the same thing.
Right.
Because when coaches say, yeah, you have to dribble and take a shot at the goal. Yeah, but the dribbling was successful. But when he's taking a shot, but he's not taking a shot, but there's an option to take a shot, but he gives the pass to the other
Right,
players.
right.
Why? They call the players, they ask, sir, if I take a shot, the ball will go out. That is a mental.
Or if they don't want to be blamed if
Yes,
yeah.
that's a negative. They are not positive, man. First
Right.
thing is we have to train the players with so positive mentality so that we can get the good result, man.
Right, I know. How hard is it to work with the players, you know?
That's what as I said.
No, I know that they come from diverse backgrounds, but you've been a coach for so many years, and you know, you've been in this setup, so
Yeah.
I think you're used to it to a large extent.
Yeah, that's why I'm dealing with different personalities, and
Right.
because some players are very too much of attitude. Some players are very aggressive.
Right,
So,
right.
Some players are very soft nature,
Right.
and each and every players
So,
have to
which kind
deal
of a personality is better to work with? Like you want the aggressive, you want the people who have attitude, or you want the people who are soft, or a blend of all is good.
It's a blend of all, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because in football,
Yeah.
I know, as I told you, that football is a physical, challenging game,
Right.
and they have to be very aggressive. At the same time, they have to be in front of the goal. They have to be very calm to place the ball
Yes.
into the goal.
Yes. Yes.
And same time, in defense line, they have to be more aggressive to clear the ball. In
Right.
midfield, they have to be more aggressive also. They have to be more calm also.
Right.
And it's a mixture of all, ma'am.
Yeah, it's not very easy to be, you know,
And
yeah.
to control this, to get the players into one, to mold them in one, and as a team we have to work. It's a very challenging task as a
So when you are telling me that it is so challenging, how are you so mentally strong, you know? Because let us also remember that even coaches need mental skills, right? Even they need to be strong, they need to be
Yeah.
positive, they need to be confident about them. So how do you manage yourself?
because this thing is
I know
comes
you're from armed forces, so
Yeah.
you are having that background. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can throw some and explain to
that
us.
is there. That is during our playing days, we have seen our teammates, and we have seen our coaches
Right.
reaction,
Right.
and in our own personal attitude and experience.
Right.
And with that, we put it in our we take some good input from our NIS coaching courses and AFC license courses,
Right.
and also now we deal with we suppose if we before the session of before the training,
Right.
and first week of our training, we call sports psychologists to have sessions.
Okay,
That
that's
is
very
very
good.
very important.
Right.
And with them also we take some feedbacks,
Right.
and based on that we work, because now most of the players have a different mindset, ma'am.
Yeah.
And we as a team we have to work, and we give them a little bit of team building activities. That is very important
Right.
to have a good teamwork.
Yeah, because they're also from diverse backgrounds.
Yes, yes, yes,
Their information
yeah,
may be limited.
yes.
So you can
Yeah,
help them.
in this activity at least they gel with each other.
Right.
That you
And
can
they
see
work as a team.
Yeah, and you can see the team bonding.
Right. Right.
Then only we can see the results also. We are
Yeah.
giving the results.
The results
Yeah.
also. Yeah. Okay. So I have one question to you is, you know, we all think that when we set the goal, we have to achieve it, right? That's what is understood. And if you don't achieve it, you think that you're a failure.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, with young athletes or young boys that you're working, you know, like suppose you set, like, let us go back to the example where you said that one has to be strong on the left foot. So if you give them, like, you know, I'm going to give you 2 weeks time to work on your left foot, and at the end of 2 weeks, let us test how strong you are on your left foot. if there's a possibility that the football player would not have achieved the goal, what happens then? Do they feel disappointed, or what do you do? How do you work on it?
uh, as a coach, we can't be so rigid also, because
Okay.
we have to be a little bit flexibility.
Right.
Okay, boys are because learning is a continued process.
Right.
Today, if he doesn't learn, if you don't learn, tomorrow definitely I will learn.
Right.
That mentality we should have, and we need to encourage the players to develop their skills and motivate them to improve their performance.
Right.
And definitely they will do, ma'am. Yes, of course, many players they don't follow our instructions.
Right.
Okay, they will take it very casually.
Yeah. Very lightly. Right.
Lightly, and
Yeah.
for that type of players, we have a different
Approach.
treatment.
Treatment, okay.
Treatment. Yes, definitely they will do.
Yeah, okay.
They're doing it also, and we are getting the results also. And after the season, as I said, short-term training plan or short-term goal, and we can see the boys' development, and they're getting graduated from our club to the
Right,
higher
moving
clubs.
on.
Higher clubs. That is
Okay.
a great result for our team, not only as a team, as an individual.
Okay, yeah. So here, like you said, you shouldn't be very rigid about, the players.
Yes.
We can give them a little bit more time
Yes.
to, reach their potential or work on a particular skill, right? And you also said that you have some people who are not, not very serious. And also you have football players who would be serious, right? So for the people who are like very committed and who are very serious about the game, do you have to set the goals for them, or they themselves come and tell you like, sir, this is what I want to work on? Or
No, in training we can observe who's working hard, who is really
Committed, yeah.
committed, and I focus more on those guys, ma'am. Specifically, I spend a lot of time with them,
Right.
and because they have that determination,
Right.
the 100% commitment. Yes,
Okay.
I will do it.
Right.
So we have to push those guys to go to that level.
Higher
Yes,
level,
target. Because every individual has a some goal in their life.
yeah, so but
We
for
are-
the other percentage who are not so committed, like do you mold them to be more committed and push
Yes,
them?
yes.
Yeah, so how do you encourage your athletes,
Yeah.
as a
Because that's what in our system, in our platform, there's a little bit of everything is advancement, not in basic.
right?
Okay.
Oh, you're for the advanced level,
Yeah,
right?
and if those guys, those players are in different going in different direction, then we have to get more involved with them and get them into our platform, put them into the rigorous training, and they're giving a good response, man.
Okay. And so my final question is, can you just recall one of your experiences where you set a goal for your team and they did well? Any experience you had? I mean, if it may not be just this particular lot, it can be, in your experience, like anything as a coach, where you set a goal and, you worked for it and the, team was able to achieve anything that is memorable for you.
Yeah, we have three most important thing in my life, ma'am. One is our club started from the scratch,
Right.
from nowhere,
Right.
and we had one goal. Everybody had that one important target that we have to become a champion.
Right.
And from the day one till the last day, boys are really worked hard, and we reached that goal.
Okay.
And first then, and next level is same thing we did, and there's a new bunch of lot. But after that first goal setting we did, and we achieved it. All the players who have the list of team, all the players who have not achieved anything, they after the season, all the players graduated to the higher clubs.
Okay.
That was a great result.
Yeah.
And the next
so
year,
this was like a platform for
yes,
them to move to the
yeah,
other things. Yeah.
Next, after coming to a certain level, from C division to B division, we came.
Right.
And B division, we had the same goal settings for each and every individual, and really we worked hard. The players are really worked hard, and then we became a champion.
Okay.
Then same thing we had in the A division.
Okay.
Now we are in top division, man.
Okay. That's wonderful to know that, what you dreamed and what you dreamed with your boys, that is coming true. So thank you so much for being here, Mr. Irudraj, and sharing all your insights about, your coaching and what are all the principles and what you do to, develop and create and deliver better players. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. It's
Yeah.
a pleasure, man.
Yeah, thank you.